Hello, I'm Ian, and I'm a learning producer at the RSC.
I'm Phoebe.
I'm Cooper.
I'm Esme.
I'm Riley. And I am Molly.
I'm Esme.
I'm Harry.
I'm Meadow.
I'm Max.
I'm Emily.
And you guys all play the Princess Council, don't you,
Yes.
in our Romeo and Juliet first encounters. But also we have with us, not escaping the spotlight at all, our teachers. So just introduce yourselves.
So I'm Mrs. Pickering and I'm the Class 4 teacher.
I'm Miss Spencer and I'm the Class 6 teacher.
I'm Mr. Smith and I'm in Class 5.
Brilliant. Now, the first thing I was going to do is thinking right back to when you started doing this, because you've been doing this for quite... When did you start working on this? When did...
Last Friday.
Last Friday. I probably started a bit sooner.
Last term.
Last term. You started last term. So, thinking back over the whole of it, and put your hands up if you have an answer to this, is what's been the most challenging bit? What's been the bit that you've either found difficult or you worked really hard on to get right? What's been the most challenging?
Getting the emotions on your face.
Ah, so making sure your face suited the emotions that you're having and that told the story. Excellent.
The timing and volume.
Timing and volume, those are two really important things because you've got some really key moments where you come on stage and perform, so you've got to be there right at the right moment. And in this space, and we'll talk about it, is different from your school hall because it is vastly bigger, so volume is going to be a really important thing.
When your position, because you need to know where you stand when you're saying your lines.
Excellent. So yeah, in the theatre world, you're blocking. So where will you stand when you're... So you're not in front of someone else, so the audience can see you and so it tells us the story. Very good.
Just like Molly said,
Yeah.
emotions.
The emotions. Yeah. And did you work on that for quite a while, what the right emotions were? Did you try some different ones out?
I have two quite difficult ones. I've had learning the lines, and this week I've learned when Mrs. Montague says set, I have to go get the reef. So I have to remember that as well.
And is that a new thing? Is that a new
Yeah.
change? That's interesting, isn't it? Because we've had lots of changes. That's what we found about doing theatre, isn't it? That idea that it changes quite a lot. It's not like television where we're just going to film it and that's it. Actually, it changes and we can do that better or we can do that differently. Brilliant.
Mine just is timing and learn when to say your line.
So that, yeah, that timing and when do you say your line, perhaps your cue of when you say it.
Also the speed.
Speed.
You say just learn sometimes you say it too fast.
So just finding the right pace to deliver your line at. Excellent. This is a more easy question, I think, to answer. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. What was the most, if that was the most challenging thing, what was the most enjoyable thing that you did during it? What was, and that might not be, it might be sort of performing it or things like that, but it might be like a fun moment that you had as well as whilst doing it. So what was the most enjoyable thing?
Probably playing with Ibrahim.
Playing with Ibrahim. So yeah, and just tell me, so Ibrahim came in and worked with you. What was his job? What was his role? He's from the RSC, he's one of my team that I work with. And what was his role and what sort of things did he do?
Help us act and help us remember our lines, and so it wasn't like we always just do our lines. He let us play warm-up games, which is still acting as well. So that was my favourite part with it.
So almost like you had your own director. Ibrahim is, we call him a creative associate on this, but he was doing that directing job with you guys, which isn't, he didn't just tell you what to do, did he?
Yeah.
No, he sort of got you to play games and discover new skills.
My favourite part was the acting.
The acting. So was that the acting when you actually got on stage or acting even in rehearsals as well? Even in rehearsal, any moment of actually acting. Brilliant.
Just working with Ibs.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was good about it, we don't want him to hear this, obviously, Ibs. But what was good, particularly good about the way Ibs worked with you and the sort of things he
The
did?
way it weren't like just, right, get on with your lines, it was in a fun way.
Right, so it wasn't just you have to learn it and you just sit there and learn it and then you have to say it sort of straight away.
Yeah.
He found some different ways of getting you to do that, maybe through games and things like that.
And meeting all the actors.
Ah, yes. Because, although you rehearsed quite a bit beforehand, what you're right in saying is you only got to work with the actors on the day of the performance, I'm right in saying, aren't you? So, brilliant. What was particularly good about meeting the actors? Were they like, were they a bit standoffish? Did they not want to talk to you? Did they stay in their star dressing rooms? What were they like?
They like fun and they played like games with us too.
Brilliant. So I think that's interesting because Ibs is also an actor, isn't he? So very similar to that. They were quite friendly, and I think that one, they were friendly because they are friendly people. But also, it's really important if you're going to go on stage to get to know someone, okay? So you have a good working relationship with them. So you guys obviously did, and they did with you.
So I've got two, and the first one was meeting Ibrahim, and the second one was just doing the acting, because I love acting in my bedroom.
Brilliant. So it's doing the acting. And was it, you like acting in your bedroom, was it more fun to act with other people then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just act by myself usually.
And now you got to react against other people. So more like, I wouldn't say proper acting, but there's no such thing. The idea of playing with other people and reacting against them, that's really interesting, isn't it?
I liked acting as well.
Yeah. So you like the acting. Which bit of the acting did you like?
I liked when when I don't know what his name is. No, not.
One of the cast.
Yes.
Is it Cassim? The prince?
He's black. That's all I know. And he has black hair.
Ah, Tariq.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
I liked when he yelled.
Oh, wow. So that he bellowed then and shouted.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then you guys could react. Because it gives you something to react against that, doesn't it?
I liked actually getting the spot to actually do the acting, because not everyone got to get a spot to do it.
Ah, that's really interesting. Brilliant.
I liked everything about it. Meeting them, doing it, playing games and meeting everybody.
Brilliant. So the whole package of it. I've got a good question for you. You performed it at your school, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you performed it there, and brilliantly, I saw you perform it there. And actually you performed in front of quite a VIP crowd when I was there. I mean, not just me, clearly. But they let some people from the Arts Council, some people, some senior leaders from the RSC, some of the councillors, all sorts of people came to see that, and you guys weren't fazed by that at all. But now you're going to perform at the Embassy Theatre, okay? So which is a huge. I mean, I don't want to make you nervous. Huge space, isn't it? And also a place where lots of incredible performers have performed over the years. We see the pictures of them when we come in, don't we? Some brilliant comedians and musical theatre stars and actors have performed here, and you're going to perform on that stage as well. When you were rehearsing today, because you haven't done it yet, what was the big difference when you did it, when you were performing here, when you were rehearsing today? What was the biggest difference, do you think?
Where all of the stuff was moved, since there was a bigger space and we could spread everything out.
So the set was all moved and spread out, so suddenly you had a lot of room, didn't you? From being in your school hall's a good school hall, good sized one. But yeah, it's smaller, isn't it?
So it was really about how big it was and where we got to perform.
Yeah.
And where our seats were, because usually they would be somewhere behind other people.
Yeah. And this time you were in front of other people so people can see you. That's true, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, everyone can see where you're sat the whole way through, so you're going to have to be really focused the whole way through.
There were more seats.
Yeah. There is much more seats, more audience,
Loads more
isn't
people
there?
are coming
Yeah,
before.
yeah. Which is
They had to set up extra seats.
yeah, a bit more nervous.
Yes.
Well, you shouldn't be. You were very good. And a bit of nerves is quite a good bit of electric to keep you powered, I think.
No, like you've got to shout even louder than what we have been doing, because there's going to be more people far further away from you.
So you're going to make your voice bigger. Hopefully not too much shouting, but maybe make your voice bigger in that space to be able to be heard.
The echoes, because when we were in the hallway in our school, they were more smaller than the MC, so there's more echo in the MC than the hall.
Ah, right, and It's quite like, yeah, it's quite hard surfaces, isn't it, where you're performing. Brilliant. Got another question for you to think about, which is, do you think that once you've done this, have you changed? Have you either learnt something new, or got better at doing something, or what's changed about you from the start of this to the finish of this? You might not have done, you might be exactly the same person, but what's changed? Have you learnt anything, or has something changed about you from how you were when you started doing this to how you are now? What do you reckon?
Because I got a new bit on Tuesday when getting the reef, and now I'm getting really good at it, and I've got better at that as well.
So you got better at the skill, the performance skills. Have you got better at doing it because you've had more and more rehearsal to be able to do it?
I was nervous at the start, but now I'm not nervous.
So the more you've done it, the more confident you become at doing it.
So at the start I was nervous, but then when it was the end I stopped being nervous, and then I wasn't used at the start to saying my words really big.
Yeah.
But then once I got more and more used to it,
Yeah.
I just became gradually more used to it.
More used to being bigger and bigger. Very good.
Before I didn't do much acting, but now because we agreed doing because we're doing acting, we have to act at home as well to practice.
So you've taken some of this home. So you've been at home. Have your parents seen you acting at home?
I just
Practicing? Yeah. Brilliant.
Well, I was nervous at the start, but now I know if I show more emotion and more voice level, then everyone would hear it, and I'm just nervous that they won't like it.
That is all actors have that bit of nerves in it. Are they going to like it? I mean, I think they will. But yeah, everybody has that. Are they going to like it? They're going to love it. They're going to think I was good at it. I was going to just say that, is there any skills that you've learned whilst doing it that you might use later, that you might now go, oh, I've got that skill now, I might use that in the classroom, I might use that at home, I might use that when I'm about. Is there anything you've learned from doing this that you might be able to use in the future now? What do you mean?
Because I've got quite a long part, and most of it I didn't understand, but now I understand it all. So I think I'll probably use it sometime in the future as well.
And maybe some of those skills that you've used. What's that? Volume. So you get, funny enough, that I trust you, but I've seen you on stage.
I'm only really quiet and just tucked up in the room.
But now you've got the ability, if you want to be really loud, if you want to be really big, and you've got that voice now if you need it. Very good.
So at the start I wasn't sure if I could use the showing emotion in the face when you're not actually feeling the emotion.
Yeah.
But now in the future I might be able to use that to get into very big trouble. But not from parents or anyone who is probably VIP. Like someone who's a bad person.
Right, you may use it to fight evil in some ways. Your ability to use emotion. Very good, very
I
good.
could use a lot of anger to make them scared.
I see, if you need
And I
to
might
be
have
able
a
to make
plastic
someone
knife that looks real. Mommy!
Wow, that sounds a little bit worrying. Excellent. Let's check out with these guys.
What I've learned from all this acting is that I have a talent for some acting, so maybe when I'm older and have some free time I can volunteer to teach some other kids to ease into acting.
Brilliant. So you've discovered that you've got a talent. That's really good. And you might use it to teach other people. You might use it to go on to do acting yourself. So you could see yourself back on this stage, just like those different people we've seen on those pictures. Brilliant. from a teacher's point of view, you guys have watched them sort of go through this quite intensive process. Have you noticed anything change about them, or anything about what the process has done to them?
It was quite remarkable to see them rehearsing in school time, rehearsing, with our school staff. And then within 10 minutes of meeting the actors and being on stage, it was like this incredible transformation happened, and they just absolutely shone. It just completely brought them to life, really. It was quite remarkable. And we just feel really so proud of them to see them up on stage and being so confident and really taking their roles responsibly.
Brilliant, which they definitely have done. I like that you had your own soundtrack there, as you began to speak. So the other thing is that performing here at the embassy, is that must be especially exciting to sort of come here, because obviously you know this place, it's your town's theatre sort of thing. You might even come and see performances.
Twice now.
So now you're coming back.
Second time.
Brilliant. What does it? What does it mean to perform on the stage here at the embassy?
It means it's quite exciting to me, being as this is my just second time being here since yesterday. Because yesterday was actually my first time, because I have actually never been here.
Wow, excellent. Anybody else? Go on.
What it means is to have other people enjoy it and brighten their day if they have a bad day.
Brilliant.
I think ask questions about it because I didn't know what this place looked like. And I didn't know this existed.
So now you do. Now you've been in. Not only have you seen the inside of it, okay, and what it does, but also you've performed on that stage here. Brilliant.
I think that's a rather beautiful way to conclude, don't you? We've got an Embassy Theatre debutante, someone that says it brightens their day.
I was just going to ask one more thing.
Go for it.
One more thing about Shakespeare. So, what did you think before this, and what do you think now about Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet? What do you think? More confident with Shakespeare.
That I thought it was just small stuff, but in reality, people act it and make it look really good.
So you thought it was just a story, but now people act it.
Very enjoyable now. Like at first I thought, I'm not saying I didn't think it was going to be enjoyable. At first I thought I was probably going to not do, mess up, or I'm going to be just not on with my lines. But now I've got into it and it's more enjoyable than I thought, to be honest.
Excellent. We can't say fairer than that. I did put your hands down now. Thank you, guys. And we'll wrap it up there.
Thank you very much indeed. So it merely remains for me to say on behalf of the Embassy Theatre, the Arts Council, and of course the wider Magna Vitae Trust and the Royal Shakespeare Company, this is, if your heart isn't warmed by that, then there's something wrong with you, quite frankly. And therefore, if I could ask everybody in the room to substitute for me in giving all of the partners involved in this project a rather large round of applause.